On the dark and foggy waters of Long Beach, California, a grand and ghostly ship looms, a vessel with a history as rich as it is haunted. This is the RMS Queen Mary, a retired British ocean liner that has earned a reputation as one of the most haunted places in the world. Today, it stands as a hotel and museum, but its past is filled with tales of tragedy, war, and death. As we delve into the story of the Queen Mary, you'll discover why this ship is said to be a floating ghost town, with spirits that linger, unwilling to let go of their tragic past. The Queen Mary was born in the early 1930s, during the height of the Great Depression. She was named after the wife of King George V, Queen Mary herself, and was intended to be the grandest ocean liner ever built. Launched in 1934, she was the pride of the Cunard White Star Line, a majestic symbol of British engineering and luxury. At over 1,000 feet long and weighing 81,000 tons, she was a behemoth of the seas, capable of carrying nearly 2,000 passengers across the Atlantic Ocean at speeds that rivaled any ship of her time. But even in her early days, the Queen Mary was not without her shadows. During her construction, several workers met untimely deaths, accidents that would later be attributed to the restless spirits that some say still haunt the ship. These early tragedies set the stage for a legacy of sorrow and ghostly apparitions that would come to define the Queen Mary. The Queen Mary's most dramatic transformation came during World War II. In 1939, as the war raged across Europe, the ship was requisitioned by the British government and converted into a troop ship. She was painted a dull grey, earning her the nickname, the Grey Ghost, as she ferried soldiers across the Atlantic, often at great peril. The Queen Mary's speed and size made her a prime target for enemy submarines, but she was never struck. However, the ship's wartime service was not without tragedy. On October 2, 1942, while transporting thousands of American troops, the Queen Mary accidentally collided with her escort ship, the HMS Curacao, slicing it in half. Over 300 men aboard the Curacao were killed, their bodies never recovered. It's said that some of these lost souls still haunt the Queen Mary, their final cries for help echoing through the ship's now silent halls. The ship also carried wounded soldiers, many of whom did not survive the journey. The Queen Mary's infirmary saw countless deaths, and it is in these areas where some of the most disturbing paranormal activity has been reported. The specters of soldiers, their faces twisted in pain, have been seen wandering the corridors, forever trapped in the moment of their death. After the war, the Queen Mary was restored to her former glory and resumed her role as a luxury ocean liner. She continued to ferry passengers across the Atlantic, but the golden age of ocean travel was coming to an end. The rise of air travel led to a decline in the popularity of ocean liners, and in 1967, the Queen Mary was retired from service. But the story of the Queen Mary was far from over. Instead of being scrapped, she was sold to the city of Long Beach, California, where she was permanently moored and transformed into a hotel and museum. Today, visitors from around the world come to explore her grand halls, but many leave with more than just memories of a luxurious ship. They leave with tales of eerie encounters and ghostly apparitions. The Queen Mary is now regarded as one of the most haunted places in the world. Over 150 spirits are said to reside on the ship, and paranormal activity is so frequent that it has become a major attraction. Guests and staff alike have reported unexplained phenomena, from strange noises and sudden cold spots to full-bodied apparitions. One of the most famous spirits is that of a little girl named Jackie. Jackie is believed to have drowned in the ship's second-class swimming pool, and her playful spirit has been seen and heard in the area. Guests have reported hearing the sounds of a child giggling, splashing in the water, and even calling out for her mother. Despite numerous investigations, no record of Jackie's death has been found, leading some to believe that she may be a residual haunting, a psychic imprint left behind by a traumatic event. Another well-known ghost is that of John Pedder, a young crewman who was crushed to death by a watertight door in the ship's engine room. His ghost is often seen in the area where he died, wearing the same overalls he was found in. Some have even reported feeling an invisible presence pushing them or hearing the sound of the heavy door slamming shut. The first-class swimming pool, now long empty, is another hotspot for paranormal activity. Guests have reported seeing wet footprints on the tile floor, despite the pool being dry for decades. Some have even claimed to see the spirits of women in 1930s-era bathing suits, lounging by the pool or dipping their feet into the water. Perhaps the most chilling area of the ship is the former first-class stateroom B340. This room has such a dark reputation that it was closed to guests for many years. Stories of violent poltergeist activity, including bed sheets being ripped off, lights flickering, and heavy objects being thrown, have made B340 infamous among paranormal enthusiasts. The room was reopened to the public in 2018, but visitors are warned of the potential for a terrifying encounter. Today, the Queen Mary serves as a hotel, museum, and popular tourist attraction. Visitors can explore the ship's rich history, enjoy fine dining, and even take part in ghost tours that delve into the vessel's haunted past. The ship is also a popular venue for weddings and events, though some who celebrate aboard the Queen Mary have reported strange and unsettling experiences. Despite her luxurious accommodations, the Queen Mary remains a place of deep mystery and lingering sorrow. The spirits that reside within her steel walls are a testament to the tragedies that have occurred throughout her history. As the sun sets over Long Beach and darkness falls, the ship's true nature reveals itself. The Queen Mary is more than just a relic of the past. She is a living, breathing entity, haunted by the souls of those who never left. So, if you ever find yourself aboard the Queen Mary, be sure to listen closely. You might hear the distant laughter of a child, the soft splash of water in an empty pool, or the whisper of a ghostly sailor, still standing watch over a ship that has become his eternal home. But beware, for once you step onto the Queen Mary, you may find that the past is not as distant as it seems, and the spirits of the departed are always near, waiting to make their presence known. And with that, the story of the Queen Mary ends, but her legend goes on, a floating reminder that some souls are never at peace, and some places are forever haunted. If you made it until the end of the video, thank you. We love making these videos, so if you enjoy the content, please take a moment to hit those like and subscribe buttons, and until next time, stay scary.